Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I have to apologize for the unintended hiatus that my channel took. I guess reasons at this point are irrelevant, but as previously stated, I do intend to try to keep up with making at least one video per week, so I've got a few weeks here that I need to catch up on. So bear with me as I try to get through several videos here in rapid succession. There's been a lot going on. I hope that your new year is going well. Our house has had just a little bit of excitement. Heather was fortunate enough to get to go to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and she brought back goodies. For me, she brought back a set of pins. These are Haunted Mansion pins. This first one here, gargoyle, and it says foolish mortal. This one here is the Haunted Mansion crest, and at the bottom says Master Gracie. This one here is the hitchhiking ghosts, says 3 thumbs up. And this one here is a picture of the gorgeous Madame Leota. I love my pins. These are going right in my pin collection case as soon as I can find it. Already starting into the month of February. This February is a bit of a milestone in our family. 25 years ago, this February 14th, Clint proposed to me. And there's, of course, as with everything, there's a story behind this. He and I had been dating off and on for 3.5 years. And in fact, the February before, in 1992, that was a leap year. And I suppose that it may be a part of several different cultures, but I know that Ozark hillbilly culture, which is my side of the family, they say that on a leap year, that it is acceptable for a woman to propose to a man. And so I had been dating this guy for 2.5, nearly 3 years, and I proposed to him on February 29th, 1992. And I don't know how many of you know this story, but I am here to tell you that your brother, your uncle, your son, your father, oh, if it's your father, then you know, you've heard the story. What did he say unto me when I said, "Clint Moore, will you marry me?" He told me I was too stupid to marry. But here we are 25 years later. What he actually said is, "You don't intellectually challenge me." And I frequently ask him now, "Are you challenged enough?" At any rate, come around the following February, I had made up my mind that if he did not propose to me by Valentine's Day, that I was done with him. I was done waiting. I was not going to pass any more time on this. So Valentine's Day came, and it was cold. There was a sharp wind blowing, and it was icy and a little bit snowy. We went out to dinner at Red Lobster, and so I had a cute little pinafore dress on, and the nicest coat that I had was a cape, and so that's, you know, all I had to be on outside. So dinner's going through, and we ordered the lobster, and the lobster comes out, and there's no rings sitting around the little lobster antenna. And I'm getting more and more ticked off, and dinner wraps up, and he has not gotten down on his knee and proposed to me, and I am just fit to be tied. We leave the restaurant, and instead of heading back to his place, or even back towards where I live, he starts taking a different route, and he's talking about how pretty the Northland Fountain is this time of year. I don't care how pretty the Northland Fountain is this time of year. You have blown your opportunity. Take me home and leave me alone. Let me start my new life. But finally he just comes right out and says, hey, let's go take a look at the Northland Fountain. I don't want to go look at the Northland Fountain. It's cold. Oh no, it's pretty. It'll be real pretty. So all the way from this Red Lobster over to the Northland Fountain, and he parks across the street. He's telling me how pretty the fountain is, and I'm thinking, I don't want to get out and look at that fountain. I am ticked off at you, and I have nothing but this cape. It is cold out there. So he shuts off the car, and he says, come on, let's get out and go take a look at the fountain. I said, I am not getting out there. I have nothing but a cape. This is the way I have told the story every time I tell it to my girls. I have nothing but this cape between me and the cold, and Clint's head spun around on his shoulders like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, and he said, get out of the car! I shut up. I popped open the car door and immediately started freezing, mentally fussing to myself all the way across the street, and he has hold my hand like a child that he's not wanting to get away in the traffic. So on Valentine's night, yeah, that's that intersection there. For those of you who know it, it's a pretty busy intersection, and on Valentine's night it would still be busy intersection there. But he hauls me over to the fountain and up to this one particular bench that is completely covered in ice. And he stands there staring at this bench, just bewildered. This look of, what the hell, on his face. And I think, why are you staring at this bench? And he totes me over. He's still got a vice grip on my hand to the next bench after, I'm sure it's seemed a longer pause than what it was. It seemed like a couple minute pause. It was probably only a few seconds there. But he totes me over to the next bench, and he sits me down. And when he doesn't sit down, I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to propose. He gets down on one knee, and he brings this ring out of his pocket. And he says, Tanya, I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? He still chides me to this day that I never actually said yes. I just jumped up and hugged him. First made sure that there was actually a ring in the box, because I had made the mistake of thinking that jewelry that he was giving me on occasions before was rings. Wasn't. But So we have been married this year for 25 years. I love him. I cannot imagine life without him. And my life has been made so much more rich by being a part of his family. Now, that is not to say that our relationship is not without trials. The other day, I came home to a mess in the floor that the dogs had made. And I looked at it for several seconds. My mind knew what it was, but did not want to admit what I was looking at. Our dogs had eaten the leather-bound Bible that Clint got for me early on in our marriage. So I texted him to tell him this. And what does the man send back to me? Well, they'll be spreading the gospel tomorrow. Life is never dull with him. Have a pleasant day, and I'll see you next time.